Brian.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I've been better probably.
Yeah? Well, I've been seeing you in the hallway, and I noticed you got a haircut this weekend.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I like it. It looks good.
Thanks. It's a new look for me.
Is it? Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it. I think you look a little more mature, a little older.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just been having some troubles lately, so I thought I'd try to go maybe for a new look and new approach to
Sounds
things.
like a good plan. So what can I do for you?
Well, as you may have heard, I was involved in a car accident with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I was the driver,
Mm-hmm.
and we wrecked the car, and he died in the accident.
I am aware of that. If you remember, I was at the funeral.
Yeah, I remember seeing you there.
You
It's
probably
kinda coming.
there was a lot going on that day for you. I'm sure it's hard to
Yeah.
remember things.
Things are kind of fuzzy, but
Yeah.
things are I'm starting to remember the details a little bit. But I was driving the car, and we were leaving a football game, and we were driving along, and I swerved to avoid hitting a deer,
Mm-hmm.
and we flew into a ditch, and he happened to die in the accident. I just had some cuts and scrapes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've just been having a hard time dealing with it. I was really close to my older brother, looked up to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I feel depressed about it. At the same time, I also feel guilty that I'm the one that's still here, and he's the one that's gone.
Right.
And just having trouble getting through this, coping with it, trying to figure out how to move forward, really, with my life. I don't want to forget him at the same time. I want to remember him, but I also feel like I need to try to move on a little bit too, move forward. Just having a hard time with it.
Well, Ryan, I think that's a pretty normal thing to have a hard time with it. I mean, you're facing some things that, you're a kid. I mean, I know you're kind of a grown-up, but, we're all kind of kids even when our bodies are grown up. A lot of us have kids' feelings on the inside, too.
Right.
And those are real adult feelings that you're going to have to deal with for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of maturity and a lot of strength and courage for you to say, I want to move through with this. So I'm really honored that you came to me for support, and I would love to help you walk through some of this. A couple things I want to tell you, because I have to give my spiel at the beginning, because we've talked before, and I want to remind you that what we say to each other here stays right here, and we don't need to tell anybody else anything, unless you're in danger, someone else is in danger, or the court says to me, you have to tell us what he said, which in this case probably wouldn't happen, but I'm just being real clear with you, so you know what to expect from me.
Okay, thanks for letting me know that.
Sure.
It's nice to have someone to talk to about it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I feel very honored that you did come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple different things. One, I think I'm a good person to be a support person for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think your issues are big enough that I think we need to look at somebody that maybe has a little more skill than I do
Mm-hmm.
to help you through some of this.
Right.
And I can help you find that person.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you go to somebody and you decide, I don't like them, or this isn't working, then all you have to do is say the word, and we'll move on with somebody else.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
really important that you feel secure and that you really trust the person that you're going to talk to.
Right.
Okay, so we can look at that. Probably the first thing we need to do is talk to your mom and dad and find out, get permission from them, since you're still not 18, to get permission from them to have somebody else treat you or talk to you and help you through this.
Right.
Have you talked to your mom and dad about your feelings around this?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I know we're all kind of grieving together, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we've been trying to talk as much as we can.
Good.
I think my dad and I have been able to talk more. My mom is still kind of closed off a little bit, maybe, or I have his feelings a little bit like they're angry with me for what happened. Maybe that's kind of something I need to discuss with them, though, or maybe that's something we all need to talk about as a family.
Absolutely. And you know, I could help you do that, or your other counselor will probably help you do that too.
It might be good to maybe even have some family-type counseling, approach things together. Because something that's affected all of us, definitely.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, it's traumatic since I was right there, when it happened, and
Absolutely.
witnessed it happen, and yeah.
The shock of it and the almost surrealness of it, I would think.
Yeah.
Like, did that really happen?
Right.
You know, and luckily I've never been in your shoes. But, you know, any of us could be at any time.
Right.
And I have to tell you, the one thing that you said to me that I really liked was, there was an accident. And it really was an accident.
That's true.
And, you know, you didn't do this to your brother. It was an accident that did it.
Right.
And, you know, your mom and dad probably are angry. But that doesn't mean they're angry at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, they may be angry that this even happened to them.
Yeah. Right.
And they may be angry that you have to deal with this accident.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think about it that way before.
Yeah, so, you know, it's, they probably are angry, but I wouldn't take on their anger as directed at you.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they haven't said that to you. You know, don't, there's a saying, I used to look at people and I'd think, oh, they are so happy and I feel so sad. And what I realized I was doing was comparing my inside feelings to what they looked like on the outside. But I didn't know what they were feeling on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that you're going to compare apples and apples instead of apples and oranges.
Right.
And that when you talk to your mom and dad about your feelings, that you look at both of your feelings together and don't just assume things about feelings, but let them talk about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be a really good thing for you.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing that we need to do is talk to your mom and dad. I'd like to get a little information from them and find out about insurance coverage and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And find out a good place for me to refer you. I have a couple places in mind that I think would be, and actually it's not even places, they're people that I know that I think you could really connect with.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know who they are.
Yeah, and one's a really nice guy who has a lot of experience in dealing with teenagers and traumatic things that have happened in their life. That's his specialty.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and he's a real good guy. I think you would really like him. So I'm kind of hoping, but, you know, we need to find out the logistics of if he's taking new patients and all that sort of thing. So I'll look into that, and I'm going to make a note here to remind myself. His name's Bob. So I'm going to call Bob, and I'm going to call your mom and dad and get their permission. The other thing I'd like to do is, with your mom and dad, is get permission for me to be an official supporter of you here at school.
I'd like that, I think. Yeah, having someone I can check in, I think, with each day. I could come in by your office and
that'd be awesome.
Stop by for a few minutes and chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because you know Diet Cokes are my favorite, so you could even bring me a Diet Coke every once in a while. Ryan, how are you doing with your schoolwork these days? How do you think this has affected your performance in school?
Yeah, definitely. I had a hard time really keeping up with homework now, and just kind of preoccupied with all of this, I think.
Absolutely.
I don't
and
feel
I
quite as engaged in class and with my studies.
Yeah, I hear that, and I think it would be terrific, and that may be something else that I can look into to find out if there's maybe some things that we could do to help you along the way
Mm-hmm.
that could support you through this time until you feel like, you've got your strength back and you've got your, that you're back with the same stamina that you had before.
Right.
You know,
So
so
regain that drive.
yeah, these are things that interrupt. They're hard,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is.
and I'm just so impressed with your courage about how you've gone about. Do you?
Thank
Who
you.
are your supports?
I would say one of my good friend John.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of my main supports.
That's great.
Talking to him about it, and he's always willing to listen,
That's
hear
great.
my side of things, and
Yeah,
he's probably the main person I turn to.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. He's lucky to have you for a friend, and you're lucky to have him for a friend.
definitely.
That's good. That's good. So we're gonna look at getting you some academic support because you are a junior this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I want to make sure that you don't lose your GPA for looking at college a couple years down the road.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we keep all our ducks in a row so that you don't fall off the face of the earth, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we're going to get your academic support as well. Any other places you think that I could help you out that maybe you hadn't thought about before, but just been something eating away at you? Because, so far we've talked about trying to find you some outside counseling, talking to your mom and dad, and maybe bridging the gap between you guys to give you and them a little bit more support. Are your mom and dad searching? Have they reached out to friends or any counseling for support?
Not yet, really. I think they might be kind of hesitant towards it, or I think it'd be helpful for all of us to probably come in and talk about it together with.
That'd be good.
My family.
So maybe it would, you're also taking that step to maybe support them too.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful
try
thing.
to be in a support system for each other.
Absolutely. And I think it needs to be real clear though that, we all have our paths that we have to take.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a big one. And you just love your mom and dad through theirs.
Yeah.
And but theirs is different than yours.
Right.
So, while I want you to support your mom and dad, I don't want you to try to fix them.
Okay.
Sounds good. They're strong people too.
Yeah.
They have their faith, they have their friends, they have, good community and a strong family. I know you have a lot of cousins that go to school here.
Yeah.
And so you guys have a good, strong family to support each other.
Right.
And I think it's wonderful that you want to support them and they want to support you. But let's come together and then go apart so you can each find your strength and then bring the strength back for each other.
Okay.
Then we're also going to look for getting you some academic support.
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay, and see
definitely
what
do
we
that.
can do about keeping your GPA up, and if we need to get you some extra tutoring, or are you taking the traditional? Are you taking any AP classes this year?
Yeah, I'm taking one in physics.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how are you doing in it?
Not so well, really.
Well, maybe we need to take you back to a regular physics class.
Probably.
And seeing if we can help you with that. So
Yeah.
those would be things that we can discuss, and I'll be talking to your teachers, and we can discuss that with your mom and dad and figure out what we need to do and what would be the best decisions for you. Because you're
Okay.
not in this by yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, that's good. So can you think of anything else besides your counseling and your mom and dad and getting your academics in order?
I think that's, for the most part, I think that's pretty much the sum of everything.
Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't we set up another time? Let's see. Today is Thursday, isn't it? And
Mhm.
this is. Are you free 7th period on Thursdays?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we set up? Is it just Thursday, or are you free every day 7th period?
I think I'm free. Mrs. Smith is pretty good about letting me leave class right now if I need to, like, go talk to anyone. So I think that's a good time.
Okay.
Seventh
Do you
period.
have any other study halls scheduled?
Just that one.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
No problem then. Except that today, so Thursday's at 7. Why don't we plan on meeting Tuesday?
Okay.
So we don't have to wait a whole nother week.
Yeah, I like that, since
Okay, and 7th period on Tuesday, and hopefully I'll have some things in order, and we can take our plan a little bit further. And I don't know, would it be okay with you if I invited your mom and dad to join us?
yeah, I'd like that.
Okay. Okay, so we'll include your mom and dad in the meeting. And, Mr. Jones, the school counselor, I think it might be, are you feeling comfortable with him, or would you rather have him on the outside?
I think I prefer talking to you,
Okay.
most likely, yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we start on Tuesday with just you and I and your mom and dad?
Okay.
And we'll get a more concise plan, and hopefully I'll have some answers about things that we can do between now and then with the different areas we cover.
That sounds good.
Okay?
Okay.
Good deal. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Mrs. Squires.
You're welcome. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.